think Demian Maia is going to put him to sleep. And I think that Tyron will wind up getting the 175-pound belt back within a year.
All right, our co-main event, Ray, is going to be Tyron Woodley, the current welterweight champion.
170-pound champion.
Facing Demian Maia, the number one ranked. This is probably the one you got Cormier and Jones too on this fight card. Of course, that's not the most. It's like a wait, there's more kind of thing. So Demian Maia versus Tyron Woodley. I'm super excited for this one. What do you think, man?
This is a fight that has been a long time in the making. I think that neither of these guys match up particularly well against one another.
Right.
Demian Maia takes everybody's back with relative ease. Tyron Woodley's a guy that has struggled with his cardio in recent fights. Now that he's a champion, he's only fighting 5-round fights. If Demian Maia can get his back early in the first round before these guys are sweating, before they get a little bit greased up, if he makes Tyron Woodley carry him for 3 minutes in the first round, you're going to negate a lot of the speed and the explosivity that Tyron Woodley's going to utilize in trying to dismantle Demian Maia.
Big point. Good point. Okay.
I have a feeling. Right now.
Okay.
That Demian Maia has not taken a lot of significant strikes from anybody.
No.
Masvidal is as tough as they come. He was able to fend off the choke like you and I were talking about last night, but he really didn't mount much of an offense the whole fight. It was pretty much just him, kind of like Rocky versus Apollo. You didn't choke me out for 15 minutes.
Yeah, actually, I think
agree with that?
I agree. Actually, I think Maia actually landed more strikes on him from his back. I mean, Maia's not a guy. He's never going to be a power puncher. He's never going to be a legitimate kickboxer. But he's
developed striking sets that allow him to close the distance, get in, tie up, and do what he does, which is old school jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
Take your back, body triangle, pry that chin up, and put you to sleep, singing a lullaby. And he does so like a gentleman. Tyron Woodley. Oh man, this is one of those fights where I'm rooting for both guys. Demian Maia is a guy that fought Anderson Silva for the middleweight belt, I want to say back in 2008, 2009 at 185 pounds. A lot has happened since then. He reinvented himself at 170 pounds. He has been on an absolute tear. I think that his jiu-jitsu is going to be a little bit much for Tyron Woodley to handle. And if he takes Tyron's back, Tyron might try to use a little bit more strength and technique to get out of it, might wind up blowing his wad a little bit early. And we might see Demian Maia put the current 170-pound champ to sleep, which is absolutely a disaster for the brass at the UFC. Because outside of legitimate fight fans and guys who've been on the underground since 2003, nobody in the world knows who Demian Maia is. Tyron Woodley is a charismatic, good-looking kid that was in straight out of Compton. The UFC wants Tyron to win.
Okay. I got a lot of love for Demian Maia, dude. I have. I'm gonna cut that in like where you were at, but I got a lot of love for him, dude. Have you seen UFC Embedded? He's like such a dad. He's just like a Brazilian dad, but he's like a total professor. Like he's when they put the UFC together. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, dude, but like when they put the UFC together, it was for people. It was for anybody, but I mean, people like Demian Maia were there because it was made to showcase the power of jiu-jitsu the way Demian Maia made it flourish.
I think I can elaborate on that a little bit. I'm pretty sure that it was Halleck. Don't quote me on that, but I think it was Halleck. They wanted to sell VHS tapes on the art of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu because before that, Taekwondo schools were a dime a dozen and traditional karate schools around the country. And they said, hey, we'll put up, and Hickson was the original guy slated. Hickson was a physical specimen. He was an athlete. He was 195 pounds of shredded muscle, handsome guy, effective striker. And they said, you know what, let's go with Hoyce. Yeah. He's a slender guy with a receding hairline. If he can dismantle the best fighters in the world, people are going to take jiu-jitsu seriously.
A lot of people,
so yes.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know that story, Ray. I just learned about that a couple of weeks ago where it was, hey, let's take like our I wouldn't call Hoyce a bench warmer. I mean, good God, no. But like they could have taken Hickson, who was their champion, but they said Hoyce because they were like, look, if our sixth string guy can come in and beat everybody, what does that say about our best? Little history lesson right there, right?
I tell you what, man. Jocko Willink says that jiu-jitsu is a superpower, and I agree with him. If you take a guy with a couple of stripes on a white belt or even a low-level blue belt on a street fight, I'll take him over 95% of the general public in the world. If someone knows how to effectively maintain top control and land strikes from the top and put you in an arm triangle choke, it's hard enough to defend those moves when you know what you're doing. I go back to my first couple of classes and somebody puts me in side control, gets my arm up, my shoulder next to my ear. Next thing you know, I can't breathe and I see the world fade into black and I'm doing everything I can to fight it off. And I said, wow, I have to have this thing.
Yeah.
And that's when I fell in love with jiu-jitsu. And the first time I ever got caught in a triangle choke from the bottom, I never forget. I did everything in the world to get on top of this guy. I landed inside of his guard. I'm a bigger, stronger physical specimen than this guy. I'm like, all right, cool. I'm about to do some work from the top. And next thing you know, this guy locks my arm in next to my throat. He's got a leg around the back of my neck. He locked it in behind his knee. And I'm like, what is he doing? And all of a sudden, like a constrictor, I can't breathe. It's a legitimate superpower. I think that the Avengers need a Gracie in there.
Well, we did see Hickson at the end of Hulk, Edward Norton. Hey, let's move along though, right? We're ready to move on to the next fight?